2K made a tweet and they said, NBA 2K24's My Career has been streamlined so you can put the focus on your game. And as you all see, this tweet went pretty crazy. 7 million views in the bottom right. Now, this didn't come with much of an explanation. In fact, they didn't explain it at all. But iPod King Carter, who was at the event where they were able to play NBA 2K24 early, you know, that's someone I'm going to trust definitely over a lot of other people. He, under that tweet, said, bet, so no more cutscenes about off-court side hustles and just basketball. Now, does that mean there's not going to be any quest? No, that's not true, and we'll talk about that in a second. But hopefully, what that means is you do not have to be a rapper on every single one of your builds. You don't have to do the fashion shows. You don't have to wear the hot dog hat around the city. All those types of things that is making people like me, like I literally did not make a few builds towards the end of the year just because I didn't want to go through all those side quests that were very annoying. Now, guys, as you remember, in the description of the game that we talked about a few weeks ago, it showed, or like 2 weeks ago, it showed this right here, and it said, flex your custom personalized style in an all new city, rich with optional side quests and sizzling street competition. So there is still quests in the game, obviously, because it says optional side quests. Now, keep in mind, these are also side quests. 2K could be wording this perfectly to where there is still quest in the game, but hopefully from what they're saying with the streamlined My Career, those quests are going to all be basketball related that you have to do. Now, I still do hope that after your first player, you're able to skip them like in previous years. You're able to skip the story mode and stuff like that, but who knows? Now, guys, what I want you to do, man, if you genuinely get good news from my channel, because that's what I try to do as good as possible for you guys to keep you informed, give me a raised hand in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, raise your hand and smack that like button for me. Now, let's get back into the news. As you guys know, LD2K, aka Chris Manning, if you don't know, he is the 2K TV host slash producer for Visual Concepts, and he used to be like a developer for 2K. Basically, he's high up in 2K. All right, that's all you need to know if you don't know, but obviously, you know, I think a lot of you already know. Anyway, Hank the Tank went to Twitter and he said, do you think NBA 2K24 will be good? He said, I think so, Mr. Hanky. Now, he got to tweeting on Twitter. He was replying to multiple people, and in the next one, J.A. Bridgeforth went to Twitter and he said, are you excited for NBA 2K24? He said, my mood right now with a Kobe gif. So obviously he is excited. He's a LA Lakers fan, he's a Kobe fan, and he's really obviously, you know, liking that Kobe's on the cover and stuff like that. Now, under Lamonce's tweet, he said, I'm considering going full defensive lock like I did in 2K18 and 2K19. Full defensive lock. And I actually wasn't even about to say this because I didn't notice this, but is he talking about that you're able to have some sort of pure archetype or very close to a pure archetype like back in the day, like 2K18, 2K19? Can you just simply make a lockdown? Is the build's going to be more role player than superstar? I don't know. But also, guys, we need to sit here and say that there's never been a role player builder specifically. So some people will say, oh, I do not want to spend $100 to be Dylan Brooks or Draymond Green. There has never been a 2K where it did that, guys. Ever. There's never been a 2K. Maybe the stats looked like that, but when you came out on the court and you played, if you were good, you can make a role player into a superstar. So I'm not saying that that's the builder they need to give us, but it's really a weird thing that people say in the 2K community. Now, anyway, the next one though, he made a tweet and he said, to be clear, I'm talking as in how builds are currently set up in 2K23, not hinting towards 24. I just want to go with a full defensive build, may even make it for 23. Now, obviously, LD2K, just like any other 2K employee, is under a non-disclosure agreement. Even if you're super high up in 2K, you let something slip, you could lose your job. So, I don't know, man. Maybe he was trying to hint at 2K24, but of course, at the end of the day, he can't say anything about the game. So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe he was talking about 2K24. Maybe he wasn't. I just figured you guys would want to see that. Now, the next one, though, this one is really, really interesting. Now, once again, I do not want you guys to get hyped up and be like, okay, this is 100% true for what I'm about to say and get mad. Anything like that, all right? So just take it for what the words are saying and what I'm about to say. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. We're going to break it down. Now, CJ asked Dazar, who is a developer at 2K, with crossplay, can different consoles be on the same team? Question mark. Dazar said we can't answer questions about unannounced features. Unannounced features. So when I looked at it, I said, huh? Unannounced crossplay's in the game. They've said that crossplay is in 2K24 in almost every mode, or they did say it was in every mode. I'm not sure. I'm guessing every online mode is obviously what they're talking about. Why? What do you mean unannounced? So I got to thinking, and I was looking at it, and I said, maybe, because I don't think this has been talked about yet. Maybe Xbox can only play against PlayStation on 2K24. Maybe PlayStation can only play against Xbox. Maybe they can't play on the same team in 2K24. So that's going to be really interesting. Now, like I said, do not take that as, oh my God, I'm about to get so mad because I thought I was going to be able to play with my friend. Guys, I'm not saying you can't, okay? But just reading the context clues there and reading between the lines, maybe that's what it is. Obviously, they have more to announce, and maybe that's already in their, announcement progress. And like I said, if you're a 2K employee, you can't say that. So that hasn't been specifically announced by 2K that you're going to be able to play with other consoles. So obviously, if that's true, he's not able to say that either. So it could be either way. I just wanted to let you guys know. Now, JTR Drip tagged me on Twitter, and you guys can tag me on Twitter, by the way, for any questions you have. It might make it into the video or something like this. You'll see, because this is actually very important. He said, bro, I played a game today when a guy stood out of bounds for a loss of possession 14 times and didn't play any defense and still didn't get graded out. Please make this make sense. Now, you guys have seen my rec videos. I mean, you're watching a rec video right now. I preach passing the ball to the open man. Winning is the most important. Sometimes I don't get the most assists, sometimes, but I average about 10 assists a game, somewhere around there. I preach team basketball, and people like to say that content creators ruin the game and, oh, they're the ones making people ball hog. I literally preach it in all my videos that team basketball and winning is the most important. But what I'm trying to say is, I think the real issue, like we talked about in the last video, how people always talk about, oh, adrenaline has to be in the game because I have teammates who pass up 5 open shots and 5 open, I'm sitting there wide open and they don't pass me the ball. At the end of the day, 2K can try to do things, and once again, I don't care if adrenaline's in the game or not. That's fine if it is. But what I'm saying is they can try to implement things into the game like that to help make people, to force people kind of to play more team basketball. At the end of the day, randoms are randoms though, you know what I'm saying? Like, some randoms are just going to sell you. Some randoms, you're going to miss them on one pass and they're going to stand out of bounds for the whole game. So there's got to be some sort of griefing system. That's what it's called if you guys only play 2K. There's other games that have these things. So, for example, there's many ways that 2K could fix this. And what they could do is, if you're standing out of bounds and you get an offensive 3 seconds or whatever and it, turns the ball over, you lose an entire teammate grade, or maybe even 2 teammate grades, because who's just sitting there standing out of bounds, right? That's not something that's like, oh, I was accidentally standing out of bounds for 3 seconds. You have to actually walk your guy out of bounds. And I don't even think that's a rule in the NBA. So it's really, really weird that is in 2K. And at the same time, if it is a rule in the NBA, no one ever does it because obviously they're not trying to stand out of bounds. So at the end of the day, randoms are going to sell. 2K has to add some sort of griefing system. One, like I said, could be where they sit there and they tell us that if you're standing out of bounds, you're going to lose a teammate grade. Or you could have an option to kick player like at the end of the first quarter, into the second quarter. And now, of course, people are saying already, they're thinking, well, someone's going to be mad at me and kick me, okay? It would have to be like all 4 teammates on your team are agreeing that this guy has to be kicked. You see what I'm saying? So there's many ways they could go about it. I don't know the perfect way, the perfect option, but there's definitely something 2K has to do for the community for that. Anyway, Power went to Twitter and he said, I wish they added back custom shirts in 2K. There was no need to remove it. They already had the solution. Only give it to higher levels, or quote in parentheses, actually moderate the content. It was cool seeing people design their own outfits and level it in the park. So you guys see what we've talked about many times before crossplay was announced. I said this. I'm so glad we have crossplay now. Hopefully it does work. But I said we can't have 2K remove features from the game or not give us features because we have an excuse to give 2K. People give 2K an excuse. Oh, crossplay can't be in the game because their servers are going to be bad. Okay. They need to pay. They need to invest their multi-billion-dollar company on just 2K and make their servers good enough to where crossplay can be in the game. This is another thing with the custom t-shirts. They had to take it out because people were putting meat on shirts. You know what I'm saying? They were going crazy out there. What they need to do is they already kind of had some sort of policing system back in the day where you had to be a high level to reach it. You literally, there was only a certain amount of people that could get it. But at the same time, even if they bring it back in 2K24, we need to stop making the excuse that they can't. All they have to do is moderate it. If someone puts meat on their shirt, they are banned, console banned, or their account is permanently banned. Guys, less people are going to act up if they know there is severe repercussions. And I know it's just a video game. Oh my God, people aren't gonna. Yes, they are going to care. If you know that you go and boost and you are 100% basically going to get your whole entire account banned, you can't play for the entire year, there's gonna be a lot less people that go out there and boost. There's gonna be a lot less people that put meat on their t-shirts. You guys see what I'm saying? There is a lot of people that are okay with boosting because you know you get a slap on the wrist. You get a 1 week ban, then you get a 2 week ban, then you might get a month ban, and then finally you get permanently banned, okay? If there is a higher risk, there's gonna be a lot less people boosting and doing bad things. Now, Stacks, who works at 2K, said, I personally listen to and see everything. And I said, this is what I do it for. Thanks, Stacks. So guys, I'm always going to voice my opinion because what I try to do, if you guys are new to the channel, or if you haven't heard me say this before, is I try now with zero bias to have the most least bias possible, 0%, right? To try to get things in the game, to try to get a balance in the gameplay, to try to get features added into the game so that the majority of the community, because when I say things, I'm trying to speak for the majority, enjoy what I think should be added into the game, including me, because I love 2K and I've played it for a long time. I've played since like 2K8. So I love the game. Some people think that I hate 2K, which is completely not true. It's actually the entire opposite. I want the game to be as good as possible. Now, the game's never going to be perfect, but I do try to voice my opinion, especially for the people that feel like they don't have a voice. I mean, you know, because 2K barely listens to the creators themselves. So obviously they're not necessarily listening to random people on Twitter. So I try to get your guys' voices out there and stuff too. Anyway, guys, click this video right here, man. Click it right here. There's only one video on the screen. 2K24 news. You got to see it. It's your boy Badge Plug. You have been plugged in, bro. Click this video. I don't know why you're still listening. Click it right here. There's only one thing to do. Click it, and I'm out. Peace.